The same, even if you went to customary, there are norms and customs for every marriage in a tradition. In say like in Uganda, the Kwanjula, the Motwaro, and all those sort of things. It must have been fulfilled for the marriage to be registered with the government. If it's a Muslim marriage, again, there are things which have to be fulfilled by Sharia, the Mahare, and those things like that. So that's why it is the Sheikh who has to sign, and then you register it, because you will have confirmed that you have fulfilled the norms and customs of an Islamic marriage. And then government can register. Government does not enter other than age, consent, free will, related by blood. Government does not give any other whatever condition. It allows the churches, the faith, and the traditions to determine.
In the case of the traditions, it can be registered more. Let me say he's married 5. Can he register all the 5?
Yes, absolutely. 10, 20, 30, depending on how much. If you are the chief in the village, you could easily register half the village as your whatever, as long as you can. And that is now. That is why when we go for customary Kwanzaa, usually the parents, like it was for girls, the first question I will ask is, when are we going to church? Because the moment you go to church, you have just converted the potential polygamous reunion into a monogamous one. That's the reason. So for the ladies, it's important to take the next step. You have done a customary Kwanzaa, and a lot of people, indeed, Madam, a lot of people do the customary marriage and stop at that. You are this potential polygamous situation. And so it's wise that you move on to the next step and you convert that into a monogamous.
Okay, mutera bya mukoro kufendoze mbiro gitegeredde nga taranga bwetambula era munafati tokede ku nsonga yabo nabagala okubeera kyankizo nnyo oyinza okuba nga ate obadde wagenda n'oyanjulwa obanga wayanjula naye ate ensonga enkulu egenda okuziyiza omuntu yenna okugattako omuntu mulala yenna kubeera nti owinze into religious case ate bw'obanga ogenze mu kkanisa kituufu kijja kwetaagisa omuntu mulala yenna kugattako omuntu mulala. That is why omukulu Nsimbi agenze n'akunyonyola n'akugamba nti wenna ndowooza ebiseera bisinga abazadde mutulera okukikola nti bw'obanga oyagala okukakasa nti omwana we yaaliyo yekka ojja kusaba obufumbo obw'omu kkanisa. Jedevu nnyo bwe twogera ku bufumbo ate obw'enjawulo otuuseeyo otyeyo atugenda kudda n'ebirala bingi nnyo atugenda going in for short commercial break. But of course ngenda kubuuza ku mukulu Nsimbi a question because many religious institutions do register marriage. But of course, we would love to know how can I tell that my church or my mosque is actually legal or can legalize marriage. That is why we shall start from Mr. Nsimbi will do us good and we're still in the woman's voice.
Freddy!
Osmosis chichi.
Fredola, boss, omunene, ompede, binojo, kamalabyo na wange, gwe kakole, asasanya, aziwayuwa, senkakala tekbya Nsimbi, Freddy.
Osmosis, leero sirina ssente. Mpulayo emitwalo 2 nzijuza akaduuka aka. Lwaki otawaana okwewola ssente ng'olina MTN Momo?
24/7 mu mutima gwa Kampala eno ye 97.7 Record FM tusabula hits all day 24/7 mu mutima gwa Kampala eno ye 97.7 Record FM tusabula hits all day 24/7 mu mutima gwa Kampala eno ye 97.7 Record FM tusabula hits all day.
Talaba kumabala atukuza nonyirirawo kirako enyange tayisa bubi faburiki kyonna kyekiri kigwa lwa blue magic is my choice. Ono blue magic ye wange and the blue magic is my choice. Ono blue magic ye wange.
No entertainment without BTV, giving you the entertainment you need. Series.
It's not going to happen.
Movies.
Why so serious? I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
I will find you. And I will kill you.
Music. Music and many more. Watch BTV on Star Times channel 242, antenna decoder, and 483 dish.
BTV. Just be.
97.7 Record FM. Record FM. To Sabla hits all day.
Osmosis is coming.
Osmosis, what's the money? When do you see him? Send him to Momo.
My bossy, can I borrow fuel? Biggie money, can I borrow renty? Manager, give me some caloni. Okay, what about 5K?
When you need a loan, you've got MTN Momo. Use the Momo app or dial star 16.
Ndagala kumanya nti bannange ntegeera ntya nti ekkanisa yange oba omuzikiti gwange aguli liable oba guli legit okubeera nga agusobola okubeera nga agutugatta n'okubeera nga guturegister ng'era ntegeera ntya nti guli registered ku nsonga ezo zennyini mukolo gwaffe naawe tuwuliriza. You can as well send in your inquiries ku 0755 977 and Mr. Nsimbi will be able okubeera nga ate replying n'okutegeeza ensonga nga bwe zigenda obulungi mu maaso. Mwami Nsimbi.
Webale nnyo Brandon. Abba ekibuuzo ky'omukama wange otegeera otya, how do you tell that the church is licensed? Ku mukutu gwaffe www.ursb.go.ug, when you go to publications you will find the list. We update that list regularly because churches keep getting licensed. And so you can tell. But ekisingako even you ask your church, because when they get a license it is gazetted in the Uganda Gazette, and they should be having a gazette. It's very important, because if a church is not licensed and you celebrate or solemnize a marriage there, that marriage is not registered. In other words, it is like you going to a school which has no UNEB center number, and you say, for me, I start only.
No records.
There is nothing. There is nothing you can do. We cannot help you. We cannot do anything. We don't recognize that marriage. It's not registerable. You cannot register that marriage. So it's important that a kanisa, ecclesia, yogendamu ina license. It is licensed. That's the best way to do it. You can find it on our website, Mukutu Gwafe, or you can check with us. You can call our toll-free numbers 0800 100 006, and we'll tell you straight away, or drop us an email on marriages@ursb.go.ug. Emikutu mingi, engeri nyingi osobola okufindinga naye ng'ekyandisoose it is your church yennyini ewandibuza kintu kikulu. Now wekituuka ku mizigiti, the mosques are not licensed. Why? Because nikah can happen anywhere. It is not necessarily in the mosque. Imam can come at home, he can do all the things. So that one, may appear like an advantage, but it could be a disadvantage because it is easy for you to follow up your church. It's easy for government to follow up church and say, hey, wait a minute, you have not registered the marriages which you have conducted for the last 6 months. Actually, we are this very month we can start it. We are going to do that exercise. It's called inspection. We go to different faith-based churches and check. Oh, you have waited for the last 6 months. You have not registered. But now with the nikah, with the Muslim, we cannot follow the imam because we don't know where the imam came from. The imam comes from some place. He weds you. He signs a certificate and goes away. So you are left to have to follow your own registration to follow up and look for URSB and make sure that it is registered. However, the big apex bodies for the Muslims, for instance, Muslim Supreme Council in Old Kampala and the Supreme Mufti in Kibuli, I think there's Sheikh Kaketo for the Tabliks, there's Ahmadiyya here in Wandegea, Ismailia for Aga Khani. Those apex bodies have taken it upon themselves to make sure that they register for their people the marriages. So if you are a Muslim, ngoli Muslimu wakola nika, but you don't know if it is registered, genda ku your apex body. Woba oliwe Old Kampala, gende Old Kampala. Woba oli mutabuliki gende wa Sheikh Kaketo. Woba oliwe Supreme Mufti gende yobo Ahmadiyya genda. They will help you, they will assist you to register your marriage. Otherwise, it's a disadvantage. Osigala the certificate of the Muslim, of the Imam, when the government doesn't know that you are married. So when you require government services, unfortunately, we are unable to assist you because we don't have that.
Okay, so Mr. Nsimbi, bw'oyogera ku kintu ky'okubeera nti you carry out inspection. Do these churches almost after a given time, do they renew the licenses or it's once and for all?
Oh, the government is very lenient. Unlike EFRIS, for this one, you get your license once. It's perpetual. Unless the minister cancels it for some reason. For instance, if you decided to wed people outside the law, the minister might cancel your license as a penalty. But otherwise, it is in perpetuity. I will tell you the big churches, Uvaga, what these ones which have been, they got their licenses in 1951, 57, and they are still wedding. And they will continue wedding. Nobody will stop them. I think you have had your license for about over 10 years now. And we've never bothered you at all. We will come and inspect. If you have
No problem. Yeah.
if you have been
Welcome
licensed,
you.
but
Welcome
so
you.
the license is in perpetuity. Toyina gifa kasita bagifuna ekanisa bwegifuna kiwedde forever.
Okay. Then what is required for the religious institution to get the license? What are the procedure?
It's very simple. We come and inspect your premises because when you're going to wed, it becomes a public place. It must be a public place, and so it must fulfill the public building requirements. So we inspect to make sure you are not some dingy place somewhere and pretending to wed. So you get an inspection report. We want to know whether it is a formal organization. In other words, are you registered? Are you a company registered by guarantee? Are you by trustee? You know, the formality of the organization. Then we want to know whether you own the premises because marriage is for life. We don't want you to be here today and in the next 10 years you disappear. I think we had someone who went to university which disappeared sometime and they couldn't trace the university. You had the papers, but it was so you don't want to get married. And one day when you want to, for instance, certify your document, the church no longer exists. And so we want to make sure that there's a permanency about it. Then we want to know the people who constitute the church, some qualification of some sort, theology, philosophy, these things, and then you recognize people. You are the one who tells us actually, because we have had some people come to us and the pastor, his qualification is the Holy Spirit anointing. Now it's a little bit difficult to verify. But if that's your qualification and your church elders believe that is the person who should wed, government doesn't. Like I said, government does not interfere in the internal working. We just want to know. So you tell us, you give us the people who are going to wed, and then you pay 200,000 for a license in perpetuity. That's
For lifetime.
yes, it is so small. I mean, maybe we should think about increasing it a little bit. It's so small, 200,000. Then the license is issued by the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs. So when you bring all those papers, we make a file and submit to the Minister. He rules through it, and he will sign off a license. When you get the license, you put it in the Uganda Gazette. Just like a land title, like anything else which is important, you put it in the Gazette. Then you are good to wed forever. You can continue wedding. So the requirements are really minimal. Just to know that the thing is legal, it is official, it is not just, I'm not wedding people in my bedroom. It has to be in a public place and things like that.
So another question is what is the effect of change of religion on a marriage? They got married to a certain religion, then one decided to change.
Now, marriage is, in a way, an agreement between people. We say it is a covenant, it's everything, an agreement. And that means you have agreed to a certain set of things. When you change religion, you have just changed the fundamental. What we agreed upon at the very beginning. Now, it's up to me. Do I accept you like that or don't I? So if you change religion, that is the grounds for divorce for the other spouse. If you change your religion and I don't agree with the new religion you are with, I can go to court and ask court that, well, my spouse has changed the fundamentals, and the court will agree and give me a divorce. It's a way like in modern, this never happened before, but it's like, for instance, if I did a sex change, can you stay married? No, you can't. You have changed the fundamentals. So if you change religion, you've changed the fundamentals, and those are grounds for divorce.
Okay. Alina omukulu Nsimbi atugezaho bw'atunuulira ensonga ezimu ezisinga okubeera nga zitukwatako naddala mu bintu by'obufumbo n'okubeera nga turegistaringa ku URSB. Mukulu Nsimbi, there is something that always happens with people. Oli n'abeera wali n'agamba nti what are the benefits of me getting married, registering marriage? As some of the people will be like, fe tuli okay. As me and my husband, we understand each other. We don't even think about the worst. We are okay. The 20 years we've been together, I've never found anything wrong with him. So why should we have to register and find out all this information? Is there anything that maybe is a disadvantage?
Thank you. This is a very important point. Because why register? Actually, abantu babuuza government enoonya ki mu kisenge kyange. What is the government looking for in my bedroom? Why they want to tax? Kati the taxes bazirese mu kisenge, you know? But this is the gist of the matter. Let me start from a Christian perspective. Like they said, like Jesus said, give to God what belongs to God. Give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. There was a reason. And that's why if you don't have faith in Jesus, I don't know. Because this is so many years ago, but there is a reason. You could see all through everything was being God. Excuse me. Now, the reason he was saying that is because while you are working for heaven, you are living here on earth. And therefore, you need blessings and everything for heaven, but you also need services here on earth. Now, when you get married, it changes you. You are now a family, you are a spouse and whatever. There are so many things which are cool because you are spouse. You will get children, you will get property, you will want to travel to and everything. All those things are governed by Caesar, government. And so if you don't register with government, you are very good with God, but then don't ask for any of the services of Caesar. So if you buy property or if you want a mortgage from the bank and you say, oh, this is my spouse, that can only be your spouse if Caesar knows. And banking is Caesar. If you want to travel, you want to go to Mombasa, you want to go for a holiday with your family, that's why the children have a birth certificate. Okay? You must have a marriage certificate. You don't just walk around and say, this is my wife. For me, the church knows. Okay, go to the church and you get a visa. Because if the church is giving the visa, you say, oh, no. For me, it is even the bishop who led us. We know we are good. Fine. The moment you need to travel with your wife or your husband, go to the Pope or to the bishop and get the visa from there. You want a mortgage for your house, for the home? That's perfectly fine. Go to the priest, the pastor, and they give you the mortgage. But if you're going to the system of Caesar, then Caesar needs to know that you're married. But even more crucially is when one of you passes on. Now, I know that we don't even talk about death, but it's the first fact of life. And we don't plan. It's a bit like insurance. You don't want to even think. They tell you put third party, and you're like, me, I'm not going to knock anybody. But you saw it. We know that death will happen at one point. When that happens, that's when the wrangles start. Because now, who is the next of kin? And unfortunately, your pastor, your priest, your bishop cannot determine the estate. You're going to go across here to the administrator general, and they're going to call a family meeting, and your husband's brother is going to be appointed the administrator of the estate. And there all the chaos begins. Now, the only thing which will save you is a registered what? Marriage certificate. This is Caesar. This is not God. The other one has already gone to God. You are still living here with Caesar. And Caesar will say, I don't know you. Absolutely. So for especially the ladies, because they are the ones who get most disenfranchised, abakyala. Omwami bwafa, when the husband dies, the family normally takes the children and therefore takes the estate. Because the children in succession have the biggest percentage of the estate. So once I take the children, these children are our clan. I will take the children and therefore I will take over the property. And I think you have seen that. You are journalists, you are in the media. Every time we have someone, especially prominent, there is a wrangle over the estate. And it would be so simply solved by having registered the marriage for 35,000. Can you imagine? Just having 35,000, you are able to sort that eventuality. It will happen. There is no question that one of you will die. There is no question. Definitely, it will happen. But the only way you're going to be able to guarantee that when I go away, if I go away before my spouse, she will be able or he will be able to continue with, proceed with the estate is if I have registered one proof of marriage.
Okay, 97.7 Record FM, tusabula hits ole kwetuli, tugeza kubeera nga tuwangana ebirowoozo n'omukolo Nsimbi kuva mu URSB. You can also drop in your questions to 0755 977 977 and he will be able to answer you. Mr. Nsimbi, wano waliwo omukyala agambye nti omukulu alina w'ayogeredde ku nsonga y'okubeera nti no when you get married customary a husband can have as many women as he can. Naye tulina prominent pastor gwe tumanyiko yagezaako okubeera nga ayanjulwa naye ebintu byaggweera mu kooti. Webale nnyo okubeera nga obuuza ekibuuzo kyo Mariam. Here what we are drawing is the question. After this short commercial break, we're going to come back and of course Mr. Nsimbi will be able to answer the queries. And of course, Madam Louisa is still here with us. Aba Warinyo Nange Brandon Chef. Stick around. Tugenda kubeera nga tukomawo.
Sometimes Uganda Premier League inekomyewo mu maka g'omupiira mukisawe namba
24/7 mu mutima gwa Kampala eno ye 97.7 Record FM tusabula hits all day 24/7 mu mutima gwa Kampala eno ye 97.7 Record FM tusabula hits all day 24/7 mu mutima gwa Kampala eno ye 97.7 Record FM tusabula hits all day 24/7 mu mutima gwa Kampala eno ye 97.7 Record FM tusabula hits all day 24/7 mu mutima gwa Kampala eno ye 97.7 Record FM tusabula hits all day 24/7 mu mutima gwa Kampala. Eno ye 97.7 Record FM tusabula hits all day. 24/7 mu mutima gwa Kampala. Eno ye 97.7 Record FM tusabula hits all day. 24/7 mu mutima gwa Kampala. Eno ye 24/7 mu mutima gwa Kampala. Eno ye 97.7 Record FM tusabula hits all day.
Talaba kumabala atukuza nonyirirawo kirako enyange tayisa bubi faburiki kyonna kyekiri kigwa lwa bulu magiki is my choice. Ono bulu magiki ye wange and bulu magiki is my choice. Hey, ono bulu magiki ye wange.
No entertainment without BTV, giving you the entertainment you need. Series,
It's not going to happen.
movies,
Why so serious? I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
I will find you. And I will kill you.
music, and many more. Watch BTV on Star Times channel 242, antenna decoder, and 483 dish.
BTV. Just be.
mubadde temuneetereza akyakabi nnyo bakyandibadde kya muwendo nnyo nti program eno ekukwateko and of course ebeere nga inspiring for you to fix yourself kubanga bingi nnyo byonna okubeera nga tekuteeka mu nkola okubeera nga te obulamu butambula kugenda maaso. Before we went for a short commercial break, Brandon had asked a question. Actually, it was a listener who came in with a question era munnange twagala awo wennyini tugenda okutandikira omukulu Nsimbi ng'atulambulira bulungi nnyo ensonga eyo.
Thank you, Haba. I will start calling you Habakuku. Yes, Haba. And Mariam, thank you so much for that question. Yes, if I mentioned earlier that there are several marriages, legal marriages you can do. And so you can do customary, nebakwanjula, several times. Nebakwanjula, you get so many wives, and all of them are registrable. But when you do a monogamous marriage, a church or the one of civil, you cannot do another one until either death or court separates you. So the pastor, whoever it is, definitely if they had a church wedding, he can only get even kwanjula. He can only do that, excuse me, if he has got a divorce. Kebyava bigenda mu court. Nti bw'aba yakola eya church eyebeera monogamous ekkiriza omukyalo omu n'omwami omu, bw'oba oyagala okubivaamu olina kgenda mu kooti excuse me, n'olyoka osobola okwanjula ewalala. N'olwekyo Omuntu yenna who has a monogamous marriage cannot tebasobola mwanjula tebakikola. I have seen that. A lot of people, they are married in church, then 10, 20 years down the line, they say the man, waliwo omukazi yamwanjudde. You know, they have had another ceremonies, introduction, another introduction. All those are null and void. Whatever you do is null and void in the law until either death or court grants you a divorce. That's the only time you can do it. So, abakyala bonna abanjula abaami who are already married, if you kwanjula a man who is actually has a marriage, omala budde. It is just katemba. Era byonna bye bakola and bunyumirwa and you will never be his wife because of that ceremony. You will never. Njagala nkiddemu bakitegeere bw'oyanjula omwami nga mufumbo nga yakola obufumbo obutuufu mu mateeka n'omwanjula oba omaze budde ne bwe bakuyita mukyala, even if they call you Mrs. So and so, oh yeah, you see, the one they did an introduction, he's okay, he came to my home, therefore you have children with him, he's the father of those children and you are the mother, but you will never be his wife because those are two different things. Wife, husband, mother, father, two different in whichever language they are different. Anyway, wetudda mu Luganda oli abeera maama w'abaana, taata w'abaana tabeera mukyala wo. That's the difference.
Let me ask something for the three of you. What do you think impedes people to take a decision of going ahead and really legalizing the marriage and the process of register, as you said, give it to God or to God to see what is? What impedes them to do that? Because especially this comes from men. They say, no, not now, no. What could be the reason?
In my experience, being a man.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking the three of you here.
In my experience, it is a combination of two things. One, not appreciating the benefit of formalizing a relationship. You really don't see why. This woman is here, you have children, you've built a house, they call him Mrs., they call you Mr., you go to weddings, functions, you dress up in clothes, everybody recognizes you. So, what more do you need to do? You feel like, well, what is it? What is yes, what is the big deal, really? So, not appreciating the reasons, the benefits and the drawbacks of not registering and the benefits of registering. The second one, I think, is inertia. Inertia, you lived like this. So what is the impetus? What pushes you to do, to move to the next step? Because you got, I won't use the Brandon's words, but now after 20 years, really, and perhaps sometimes it is even a little bit embarrassing. You have children, and the children have wedding, and everybody knows you are the father and this is the mother. How do you turn around now and say, hey, wait a minute, I'm also doing a marriage?
Then your kids are part of the maid.
Yes, and for the kids are going to be the maid. It can be a little bit, and your friends all along, because you see, we live, and you have no idea when I got married. I got married in 1999. Brandon was not yet born. Haba, were you born?
Haba was born, I was not.
So, and everybody has known me as married. So you meet me now, I'm Mr. and Mrs. Nsimbi. We have children, they're big, what, everything. So how do I turn around and say, wait a minute, you guys, can we have a wedding meeting? And everybody will be like, wedding meeting for you? So inertia leads, you keep postponing, like you say, like Madame Riza said, you keep saying, no, not now, later on, when we have more money, things like that. And then, guess what? It's 10 years, it's 20 years, and you can no longer, in your opinion. What I would recommend, circumstances, is do a civil marriage. Why would you do a civil marriage? A civil marriage requires only 4 people. The couple and the 2 witnesses. And it can be done in an office on a Tuesday, 10 o'clock when nobody else. Yes, you just walk in, have your wedding, walk out, go have lunch or dinner somewhere, and it's done. But that is because if only you appreciate the benefit of registering, of having a formal marriage, a registered marriage. Otherwise, you don't even have any reason to do that. Like I said before, everybody asks government, what are you looking for in my bedroom? Me, I'm okay. My wife, her parents know me. I know. Yes, we consented. So what is your problem? But that's because you don't appreciate that one day you're going to need the services of government as a couple, and then you will have a problem. Oh yeah, even the other thing, as a benefit or a safeguard. You see, when the marriage is registered, I will put this: you are in the media, so you have seen this enough. You see on TV or whatever. Oh, they got this border guy with my wife. They beat up the guy. They take them to the police. What? It's a big scandal in the village. 2 days later, the border guy comes back. And they say, oh no, the police is corrupt. You see, he has bribed. And no. He doesn't have to bribe anybody. Because remember, you cannot stop another man from dating your girlfriend. You may be married with children. She's the mother of you. But she can actually date anybody she wants in the law.
Because you have no ownership.
You're not married. You're not married. So how do you beat up some man because of food? Maybe you beat him for trespassing my house. But if they go to a lodge or something, you can't. There's no crime. And Nanga said it. The PRO.
Olw'ensimbi abatuwuliriza bagenda kutandika okunoonya abakyala b'abannaabwe nga bamanyisi bafumbo tebalina mpeta kamalumbi.
PRO wa poliisi mukulu w'Enanga yakyogerako one time n'agamba mwegendereze because the case you're going to put in police or to court is not sustainable when there is no documentation. Because remember, court is Caesar. So police is Caesar. That's why if we are married in church, and we have misunderstandings like couples always do, we come back to church. But if it is like violence, domestic violence, church will tell you go to the police. Go and put a case in the police. Because the church has no prison, has no coercive arm. It has to.
The law must be
the
law.
So they send you. So when you keep saying, oh, for me, I got married in church, whatever, it doesn't matter about government. Remember, if there's any problem, you're going to end up in Caesar's facilities.
Okay. Actually, to be very brief, Madam Louise asked a question for all of us. For me, I would suggest maybe two things that maybe impede people from getting married. First, either of the two sides, people fear commitment. People fear commitment. Just to be brief, it could be either a lady or a man. The other thing, sometimes the cultural requirements as well, because some religious institutions will ask you first to go traditional. Then after getting done with traditional requirements, then you come and we legalize. So sometimes it is the traditional requirements that maybe people look at as being expensive, and then the commitment. People fear commitment. Marriage, for someone to go into marriage is like, man, what if something happens tomorrow? So for me, I would suggest the two of them being one of the reasons as to why people normally fear getting committed into marriage.
My answer will be people have myths about marriage from different people that have been there. Somebody can wake up na kugamba, hey, you don't know, you. So to me, that's it. But Louise, as we are concluding, maybe you can give people your last remarks.
Yes.
Mr. Nsimbi.
Yeah. So for me, 10 o'clock, we have really to finish. For me, it's like people fear, as adding to everyone say here, they fear commitment. If something happened, what am I going to do now? So if I'm not committed in marriage with the person just, there is no things of going to Caesar to ask this, wait for Caesar to decide, okay, now your papers are done, you are divorced. People are afraid of the process. They're afraid of the unknown. It's not going to work. And then, or if like, I don't want to be committed to someone because all the process of the family, all the tradition. So do not be afraid. You want to be with the person, love that person, you consider that. So be together as a family in the legal way. The law of God and the law of man. You have to give to whom you have to give. So do not be the family. The family can't do nothing if you, as he said, they are not going to impede you to get married if your family say no. Both of you are conscious, okay, you get married. So next week we'll see you, okay? Here. You'll see each other here and see you then.
Okay, mwami Nsimbi akagambo kwa akasemberero ddala ng'okuutira abantu okuregistaringa era bajjewa n'ennamba za URSB osozi.
Okay, well, thank you very, very quickly. I think it is an insult for you to say you're a wife or a husband when you're not registered. Watch. Simu Brandon Byolina is registered. You cannot start a business without a license. The car you drive has a registration. The land or the house which you have the property has a land title. But the mother of your children or the father of your children has nothing. The funny thing, even the children have a certificate, a birth certificate. You have nothing. What the hell? Pardon my language. It is not. It is an insult. It is an absolute insult for you to have a phone of 300,000 and it is registered, and the mother of your children, whatever.
So it's Byolina registered. So they have to register.
What is wrong with you? I wouldn't accept to be under those circumstances. Don't accept to be under those circumstances. Don't be unknown in government. Don't be unknown, and therefore you want to get rid of it. Please, please, please. You are much more valuable than land, than a car, than a phone. Make sure there is a record of that.
Okay, tweyanzisa nnyo olunaku olwaliro tugenda kubeera nga tetusukako ku wano eno. Thank you, Madam Louisa. Thank you, Mr. Charles Nsimbi. Hava, and of course, the program, the UG Breakfast Show, will return tomorrow, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. It has been a wonderful Wednesday morning. Olunaku olwaliro tubagaliza a happy Labor Day. I think everyone katumuli waka tubagaliza olunaku olulungi, musibe bulungi, mwera.
Eyo yibadde program The Women's Voice. The Women's Voice.
97.7 Record FM is regulated by the Uganda Communications Commission.
24/7 mu mutima gwa Kampala eno ye 97.7 Record FM. Record FM tusabula hits all day. 24/7 mu mutima gwa Kampala eno ye 97.7 Record FM. Record FM tusabula hits all day. 24/7 mu mutima gwa Kampala eno ye 97